Okay, thank you everyone for joining me this morning. This is our first virtual all hands meeting. I'm really pleased that Shanta and Jermaine and the rest of the immediate office staff has worked diligently to pull this off in such a short period of time. I really want to first take this opportunity to offer a moment of silence for all of our fellow Americans who are suffering through the effects of Hurricane Harvey, and also for those that are still in the path of Hurricane Harvey as it continues to move across the United States. Okay, thank you everyone. I want to let you know that I really appreciate all of the hard work that you all have put forth during this time of rearranging OGAPA, if you will. I know that we have a number of staffing shortages that are occurring across OGAPA, and I want to assure you that I'm working very diligently with Jen McHalian to actually fill some of the staffing shortages and positions, and that's what I really want to talk to you about this morning. Basically, there's two key things that have occurred within this week. We're at Wednesday, so I want to make sure that I address them, right here up front, so that there's no rumor, suspicion, etc. Basically, Teresa Lewis has been detailed to the Combined Federal Campaign Loan Executive Program. She is being detailed for 120 days. We want to say thank you to her for representing HHS in her efforts, in her activities with the Combined Federal Campaign. We want to make sure that we represent her well as we participate in the upcoming months in the Combined Federal Campaign. So we're going to make sure we ramp it up and represent her well here within OGAPA and ASFR and HHS. Carl Alvarez has been detailed to the Office of the CIO. He will be working on FITIRA. Many of you may know that we don't have a really great score in FITIRA. Right now we have a D-, and Carl will be using his expertise alongside with Beth Killeran, the CIO, and Amy Hasselton. Many of you know Amy, as they work to basically pull our score up to an A. The theme is an A in May. So we look forward to all of their diligence and hard work, and we will be here to work alongside with them for anything that they need as we work to get that FITIRA grade up. So thank you, Carl, for your participation and your ingenuity in working with the department to get that FITIRA score up. Basically, we have approval with regard to the staffing shortages. We have approval to hire 3 positions. They are in the queue. I'm not exactly sure where each one of them are, but I do want to let you know that we have gotten permission to hire the ADAS for acquisitions position, the director for the acquisitions policy position, and the director for the acquisitions business systems position. I do know that we have a number of other vacancies that we still have to gain permission to hire. In addition to that, if we need to realign positions within OGAPA, send people on detail or receive people in from details, have our TALEX program reinstituted, etc., we need to gain permission from the Deputy Secretary's office here at HHS in order to continue to move forward in those directions. So there will be more to come in September when we have the OGAPA all hands meeting. I'm sure I should have a status update by that time. In addition to that, I want to make sure that we welcome our 3 new employees that we have gained here in the immediate office of the OGAPA. So we have 3 new OGAPans that we want to welcome. Nicole Harley, who is actually going to be working on our budget, our services and supplies, our GDM, our NEF, our reconciliations, etc. Carlise Moore, who will be working on customer engagement and outreach, which was a very key thing that we talked about during our strategic planning sessions with Eagle Hill. And also she'll be working on other special projects. More to come on that. And we also have Arliss Powell, who will be our communications specialist, who helped set all of this up this morning. And you'll be seeing a lot more of them working with Jermaine and also Melissa as we broaden the scope of the functions and activities and the internal controls throughout OGAPA. And so we'll be working alongside with you with each of the divisions as we move forward in those efforts. Towards the end of what I want to present this morning are a few more questions that I have gotten that I want to ensure that I take this opportunity to answer for you. Basically, one of the questions that I received was who will be the leading OSDBU director during this time of Carl leaving to go to the OCIO. As you all know, he was the acting OSDBU director. And so basically at this time, we don't have authorization to detail anyone else into that position just yet. So I'm working very diligently with Jen and with the others in the Deputy Secretary's office to either get a detailee in or reassign someone here in OGAPA into the detail position. So we'll see how that goes. Until such notice that we have regarding someone on detail or backfilling that position, I'll be having weekly meetings, 1-hour meetings with the entire OSDBU staff. So we'll work with Melissa to get those on my agenda. They will be in person and virtual because we'll make sure that we can include our OSDBU staff from Atlanta into the weekly meetings as well. The weekly meetings that I begin to have with each of the divisions that I'm about to announce will be mandatory because we're down too many people and we're in the end of the fiscal year. And so therefore they'll be mandatory until further notice. If there is some exception to that, please contact me or Melissa and we'll weigh in on a case-by-case basis. So with that being said, I will also be establishing weekly meetings with the entire Division of Acquisitions. Again, we'll set that up with Melissa. I will be the acting ADAS for acquisitions until we backfill that position. So again, I will be putting that hat on. I will also begin to set up bi-weekly meetings with each of the branches under the Division of Acquisitions so that I can ensure that collaboratively we all work together to make sure that we end this fiscal year appropriately and that we can still serve as the compliance, oversight, and the collaborators with our op-divs and staff divs across the department in this particular area and line of business. I will be having weekly meetings with the Division of Grants as well. Again, we will get on the calendar with Melissa to establish that. And with that being said, I will move on to the next question that was asked. What are our next steps in executing our strategic plan? I have the draft strategic plan that was submitted to me from Eagle Hill, and I'm reviewing it currently. After I review it and make my comments, we will forward it out to the management staff within OGAPA. So that would be Jeff, since he appears to be the last reigning executive here in OGAPA right now. I hope you're ready, Jeff. And the other managers here within OGAPA. So we'll all have a weigh-in. After the managers have had an opportunity to take a look at it, we will make a determination as to whether we want to go ahead and let the rest of the staff take a look at it and provide their feedback before we finalize it and send it forward up to Jim Mahalian and to whomever else in the department, in the secretary's office or deputy secretary's office that may want to take a look at it. So those are the next steps with regard to our strategic plan. Next question was, how often will these State of OGAPA virtual meetings happen? This is the first of many, so we will continue with this in addition to having all hands meetings. These will not be in lieu of all hands meetings. What I had initially wanted was something called a stand-up meeting, but we're running very short on space. Even though we're down a good number of staff, we still have a very large OGAPA staff of about 70 people. So we want to make sure that I'm able to get you up to date, quick, minute-by-minute information as things quickly change here within the department and across OGAPA, ASFR, and the op-divs and staff divs. I think I covered, will a new deputy DAS be hired? Oh no, I didn't. I covered the ADAS. Basically, that is eventually, yes, there will be a new deputy ADAS for OGAPA. It's not on the priority queue right now because there's a lot of other staffing positions that have a far higher priority than the deputy position here in OGAPA. Not to say that it's not important, but we have vacancies that have been ongoing, such as category management and other positions in the Division of Policy, in grants, and also in grants.gov. So we're trying to make sure we spread out the prioritization of the staffing shortages that we have across OGAPA. And since this position just was vacated recently, we're going to make sure the other positions get in the queue and get backfilled first before we address the deputy. Basically, I just want to give you a quick reminder, because this is not meant to be a very long meeting, as I said, but a just quick reminder that we will have an all-hands meeting on September the 6th. In-person attendance is required. I'm not sure just yet where the location is. I think that we are in the current process of locking that down, but I can tell you that I have requested that many of our all-hands meetings moving forward are not in the building because we keep getting bumped out of our location. We keep getting bumped out of our conference rooms or the auditorium or what have you, and you all are very important, and the line of work that we do is very important. So I just want to make sure that wherever we have our all hands, that it's consistent and we're not getting bumped out of it. And if you all have suggestions as to locations for our all hands meetings, please send them forward, because we're always looking for suggestions as well. So with that being said, I'm going to say adieu to you this morning. And thank you, everyone. And please continue to pray for all of our fellow Americans in Texas, and for those that are now being impacted by Hurricane Harvey in Louisiana. Thank you.